$165 pounds. They don't feel good when they hit your head 5 feet, I'll tell you that. And you want to bend your knees and keep your back straight. That's how I've lasted 40 years. My driver sell, pre-salesman, they go out and sell. The truck goes the next day. So I do what two people do. I consider myself a working salesman.
Did you use a computer much before you started using that thing?
No. I had a beeper, if you want to consider that. Then we went to the flip phone. And now I'm high tech with a smartphone. Sorry. That was some kid from North Carolina.
God dang, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, there you go.
Don't get up, shit.
How are you?
Well, I guess I'm going to pre-sale, you know that.
Yeah. Are you okay with it?
Yes and
Well,
no.
we can see how it works out. Give it a chance.
No, I know, John.
Well, it'll save your body a little bit.
I don't know, I don't know, John. This keeps me in shape. Ain't nobody throw a keg like me, you know that.
I know that.
And I know I'm not getting any younger, but it keeps me in shape.
Oh, okay.
So now I got to go jog around the damn bar 3 times before I go in and sell it.
Good work out.
You want a beer, Brent?
Sure.
You want a good beer or you want a foo-foo beer?
I'll take a bud.
I'll have a Bud Light. I've been training. Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good to see you, son.
When'd you get all this stuff?
Many moons, many moons. Lagunitas girl. Brewer's Cabinet, Tahoe beer. Sell that beer. Got the Bud Girls. Those posters are all back in the 80s. They quit doing that maybe the late 80s, about the end of my posters.
What was like your first impressions when you first started selling IPAs?
Hated them. Never liked IPAs. I call them tongue twisters.
Beer has defined my life. As a kid, my friends would stay over and be jealous of the Bud Girl posters lining my bedroom like wallpaper, while a Bud Light neon served as my nightlight. I'd often take weekend rides with my dad to make special deliveries to his bars.
I just got the Keghead on there. This is my air from putting in 40 years. That's what I got. 1996 Driver of the Year, James Keghead Kirkland. Budweiser Christmas Stein started in 1980, and I started September, so it just started. So I have every Stein of the Budweiser Christmas Stein collection.
Why do you collect so much?
I love it.
While my friends' dads were teaching them how to fish, I was being taught about beechwood aging and why born-on dates make more sense than expiration dates. But I was learning about much more than just beer. I was seeing the importance of relationships.
I actually call him James, but he's been our guy since day one. You know, he was. I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I'm 47 now. I think I was 8 or 9 years old when I first met him.
Of course, I've always called him James, but everybody else calls him Keghead.
I didn't know his real name for like 20 plus years. I mean, I just knew him as Keghead. my God, I've known him since I was born. I've always known your dad. I've always known Keghead. Keghead has always been our delivery guy. I mean, my whole childhood.
My dad called to tell me he'd no longer be delivering kegs from his truck. He was being moved to sales. When I first heard it, I was angry. He loved driving and delivering kegs from his truck, and the bar community in Reno loved him for it. Being the Keghead is his identity. I wonder if the change was necessary or just an opportunity to do away with an outdated style.
What a beautiful sight. That's why I work right there.
So first question I have is talk about where does the Keghead story begin?
Wow.
He came every day at the same time, and he came in. I used to help him because they would stack the kegs. And so he comes every time, I need your help, and I go help him stack the kegs. So I'm doing stuff, you know, and I didn't see what had happened to me. Just said, Tom, I need your help. I said, okay, I'll be right there. And I went back and I saw he was sitting like this, and I said, his shoulder was over here and his head was over here. I said, holy shit. I said, me, this is different. You don't need my help moving stuff. What happened? He told me that the kegs, you know, they move around in the truck. He opened the bay and these kegs flew out. One hit him in the head, one hit him in the shoulder.
I opened the doors, they were cooler doors, and the 2 kegs were on the door. So I opened it and bam, it took my legs out. This is how it happened in a couple seconds. So I went down, I'm on the ground, on my hands and knees, and there was 2 kegs up top, and this all happened in a matter of seconds. And I go, this isn't good. And next thing I know, my lights were out.
First he said, I can't get in your car, I'll bleed all over. I said, don't worry about the upholstery, I'll get that clean, just get in.
I had blood all over my face, arm the wrong way. So he rushed me to St. Mary's Hospital.
We pulled up to, you know, the valet, emergency valet, and I said, here, it's just $10, $20, get this guy inside, don't worry about it. Take him in, take care of him. I said, I'll see you later, I gotta go to work. And so that was it, you know.
The old doctor asked me my name, what day it is, all that, you know, because of head injury. And I told him my name's Keghead, and he goes, what? You do this a lot? I said, well, more than I should. He goes, you should be dead or paralyzed. And I said, well, thank God it was a Bud Light keg.
Everybody knows me as Mrs. Keghead, which I don't know if that's really what I want to be referred to as, but it is what it is. I was the one that became the responsible one in the relationship. It's like somebody has to make sure bills are paid, and when we had a child, that child's being taken care of, and he was out, you know, I want to have fun.
Beer never sleeps, so I was out there probably more than the average. I wasn't no 8 to 5 guy, you know, especially in my younger day.
From Reno's time as a transient railroad town to its heyday as a tourist destination for gamblers and divorce seekers, Reno's economy has always been fueled by the service industry. But Reno has had to redefine its identity to adapt to economic changes. Today, Reno has turned to the technology sector to create jobs and spark an economy that was in shambles. Reno is modernizing and growing, but I didn't realize the cost of progress would be so personal.
Sundowner right here, this used to be the Sundowner Casino, now it's a Belvedere condo. I used to dump 30 to 40 kegs of Bud Light, and Michelob everywhere. Sands, Gold Dust, the corporation I believe is out of Colorado, they bought all this all the way down. I'm not sure this side, I think this side. My neighbor Paul Spedlove on this corner had a tire shop. There were old houses behind it. We owned the shop all the way to this driveway. Now it's a parking lot. That's a change there. Right back in the Keghead's pocket.
What's the change?
45, I believe. Don't forget that, that's my tip. God knows we're gonna need those. Is that our coffee down here, dude?
Yeah. Seems like there's a lot of new kind of individual businesses or owners buying some of those places now, though. Do you think that's going to help kind of bring 4th Street back, possibly, or?
4th Street will always evolve. 4th Street will never go away, but it's never going to be the way it was. And that's history, you know, right? Whether you like it or not. So the new businesses are going to cater to wherever their customer base is. So we're staying the same. Inez is staying the same. The Going Out is staying the same. Whether that's smart or not, I don't know. But you know, people seem to like the traditions where bars change all the time. Every 3 or 4 years, they get a new owner. It's a new vibe. It's a new this. It's a new that.
Here, all these 3 for close to 40 years.
Yeah.
September, and that may come to an end. How do you feel about that, Doug?
Good times come and go. Okay.
You know, I really don't like when you're a smart ass. Here's to you, Doug.
More free coffee?
I'm getting there. That's probably gonna do me. Big beer order. So we're live action today.
Oh, the young Spike is here. God
What's
bless
with
him.
the camera? I don't know, man.
Oh man, we're nice shirt.
Oh
yeah.
I wore this last week, right? Everybody goes, Keghead, did you get these shirts? I go, it's called 1990 News. I don't know, I mean, because Kathy's making some Italian tonight.
Italian, where are they from? Italy? Jesus Christ, man.
Goddamn monkey.
How long
You know,
you
there's
been
not a
coming
lot of difference between
How
Oakers and Italian.
How long have you been coming here?
Couple years.
How long? Since when? 30 years?
1980, September 25th.
Italians? When I first took over for my mom, oh God, I wanted to change this, change that. This attitude, this way of life got us where we are. And I'll continue it. And Haley will continue it. And it's paying dividends now. I think it'll continue to pay dividends because you won't find a place like this anymore. When a place like this is gone, no one's going to invest to build another one if they can. Andrew Zimmern from the Travel Channel was in to do a piece on us. And he told me, he goes, I know businesses that have spent millions of dollars to try to duplicate what you have, and it can't be done. It's an attitude. Your parents' friends become your friends. And your friends' families become your friends. And it's a seamless transition, generation over generation. You know, nobody has to rediscover it like you. You don't have to rediscover it. You know it's here. Sure, you moved away to get away from us, but you come back.
Relationships that span generations, friends that are family. Who has a delivery driver for 40 years that also becomes, a member of their family? That doesn't happen anymore. But I think that is a statement about us just as much as it is about him. We're that kind of place. He's that kind of guy. I really do.
It's a family affair, huh, Tom?
One of the very last to have those relationships, and that's what Reno was built on.
Oh God, it's true.
Was the relationships. Reno was a small town, and as your dad can tell you, there were 35,000 people that lived in this town when my dad opened up the restaurant here, right? And if you didn't have those relationships, and that's way back before your dad started, you didn't have a business because you didn't get what you needed. One of the things that's kind of nice for me, and I'm an old guy, is to come here, right, and work with my daughter-in-law and see those relationships, and specifically with your dad, and that still exist. I mean, you don't find, name me one other place. And I challenge you, I truthfully do. You might know the owner and wave at him at some big restaurant or something, that's it though. There's no relationship.
Best in town, best Italian food in town, Reno, Nevada. The Halfway Club.
The best Italian food in town.
Tony, how many years has sauce been going on?
We've been doing it for 83 years.
83.
83 years. Oldest restaurant in the state of Nevada, buddy.
Wish I could take advantage of it.
We are at 83 years, same location, same family, same little old lady.
Better sauce, dude.
Still running. No, you can't. In all 50 states.
They won't get bigger.
Even Hawaii. Even Hawaii.
Oh, that was a good dinner, Tone. Lunch, I should say.
Now, Brent, you get to see his secret hideaway for taking a nap in the middle of the day.
Well, that smaller van will be easier to hide.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the last one in, right? A lot of PR out there, sir. A lot of PR.
A friendship like that, come on. He was friends with Grandma. Actually, I think they were secretly dating. Don't tell your mom. And then, but also a friend to my dad. I mean, he's been a support for us both in business and personally. We lost my grandma. She was 93 years old. She lived a long, wonderful life. And, you know, I think she was ready to go. It was natural and peaceful and everything.
They want to do a parade. I says, when you get in front of the door, hit the air horn. She liked a good air horn. I'd always hit the air horn, I'd pull up there.
And we love him, we do.
When they said, oh, you're no longer going to be on the truck, that was devastating to him.
Well, the name Jeep came from when I was a little kid, my parents would have parties. So I'd run around and get drinks for all the guests, you know, cousins and, you know, aunts and uncles and all that. And so they called me JP at the time, James Peter. So JP was the short. And then as they drank throughout the day and the night, JP became Jeep.
That's awesome.
Is that a story?
That's awesome.
So yeah, so that's how that became. And then, you know, my parents always just called me Jeep, and then my friends heard it one day over the phone. And then Keghead here, when he started seeing my sister, he came up, and so he introduced me to the bar crowd as Jeep. He has a rapport with not just me, but he has a rapport with the customers when he comes in. He'd actually come in and bullshit with you. He'd talk to you and actually try to sell his beer. Where now you get the guys coming in, they just rush in, they deliver the beer and head right out. They don't talk anything to you. So he'd take the time, have me have a cup of coffee, drink a couple beers with you. Hopefully his boss isn't seeing this.
Nowadays, most service people service us for beer and food. They're just in and out, don't care. You just appreciate people that kind of are the same, have the same basic philosophy as you have. They're not just in here to grab a buck and get out. They don't have a smile on their face. He always has a smile.
I kind of describe it as the Amazon model, where people want you online, order your products, and they deliver it. There's no human contact. And so just, can you comment on kind of your experience with seeing that change?
What it is like with that whole entire aspect is that they think about this, okay? Your dad does not, okay? He thinks about the whole heart of what he does as a job. And that is what's very important to me. Like, I'm very old school as well. I don't do any interaction online or anything like that. I meet in person and I shake your hand and I get to know who you are.
I'm talking to another supplier this week, and they put me on hold because their internet portal was down, where I tried to make a payment online, but their portal was down and I couldn't make a payment. And I called the office, left 3 voicemails, and we didn't get product this week. That would never happen with your dad, ever. He would put it in the back of his pickup truck and get it to me. So it bums me out that these relationships like you've had with your dad they're dissolving and they're never gonna come back. I really don't think they will. I think there's too many people in offices with quote unquote finance degrees and a computer program think that they can figure out how to make a company more money than the old fashioned way.
When I say beer never sleeps, I hope they understand what that means. Pretty much when Joe Morey talked to me when I was 23 years old, what the hell is he talking about? But I understand what it means. It means service. It means people are drinking beer. You got to keep the beer moving. Beer never sleeps.
For hanging in, for hanging tough, for holding on when the going's rough, for the smile that's part of you, that extra mile for coming.
When I was growing up in Reno, your dad was either a Budweiser man or a Coors guy. For blue-collar guys like my dad, craft beer was seen as a joke.
Today, guys, on Beer Geek Nation, we're going to be looking at a beer I'm a little bit frightened by. This is from New Belgium, part of their Lips of Faith series.
Many believed it was nothing more than a fad, but by the late 2000s, craft beer changed the industry forever. People cared about variety more than loyalty. Facebook and iPhones were replacing an old way of life. The way people bought and consumed beer has never been the same. Companies like Budweiser were forced to adapt, and the image of the working man consumer was no longer blue collar.
Bud Light made a seltzer?
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good.
You think this will be your last week?
I don't know. Hard to say though. Mud kegs, it would be a 80 and I'd reload twice a week. Craft beers have changed the industry. Seltzer water, the new thing.
You tell somebody to get up, brush your teeth, go for a run. You do your same routine every single day for 40 years, right? And then some little shithead kid comes along and says, let's try something different. I mean, fuck you, right? The changes that we made to this man, I still feel bad about. But it was necessary. What he was doing was outdated. It was just outdated, and he made the best of it.
Reno's past lives on through faded brick warehouses, antique bars, and family-owned restaurants. Being raised in them taught me about community, and are places I think about often when I'm away from home. My uncle not owning a bar, never being able to taste Mama Inez's raviolis, driving past the Copenhagen not to stop in and have a cup of coffee with Doug. The Keghead being unrecognizable to Reno. These were ideas that had never popped into my mind before, but when COVID arrived, these thoughts were becoming reality.
Bars and breweries that do not include meals provided by a full kitchen must close. I'm telling non-essential businesses you have two choices. Find a way to service your customers through delivery, drive-through, curbside pickup, or front door service, or close your doors. These COVID-19 risk mitigation members will be fully effective as of noon tomorrow.
Well, I heard they were gonna do it sooner than they did. And then that kind of went away because of COVID and everything. And I'm thinking, what the hell are they doing that for? Well, we were the last to get rid of driver sales, which happened last August. A lot of my customers were very upset with that because they were just used to me selling, deliver, done. It just seemed like, why mess with that? Been doing it forever.
His last time driving a truck.
I guess there was a merchandising kid walked by. He asked Benny, what's he retiring? Who's that? Well, that's Keghead.
This is Keghead. No, this is Keghead. He's been on this route for 40 years.
I heard her say that, it kind of hit me. It's kind of sad, because I did it so long.
COVID has been hard in lots of different ways. The limited capacity for us, such a small space. So that's 11 months we've been at 25%, just about. And so that for us is 18 people. Then in September, we lost my grandma. She was 93 years old. And then 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, my dad got sick. Turns out he had COVID. We were very surprised. And a week later, he passed of a blood clot from COVID. And I mean, that rocked our world. Rocked our world. I really do.
It's a family affair, huh, Tom?
Oh, yeah. So that's been the hardest thing, actually. You know, it's so crazy to talk about COVID and what it's done to us, but what COVID has done to our business doesn't even compare to what COVID has taken from us personally. Don't you cry, Lynn? Don't you do it?
When this pandemic hit, I remember looking at my wife and going, you know, this might be it, honey. You know, I mean, you know, restaurants, we don't work on big margins, and it's all about relationships and volume. And when they said they were going to go to takeout only, I looked at her with a tear in my eye. I go, you know, this might be it. You know, we need to be prepared to sell our home, and you know, and just prepared to lose everything. And you know, kind of going back to your dad and loyalty and relationships. You know, we've been here so long that like that first week. That first week we were open, you know, in early March after the pandemic, we'd never done so much business in my life. I'm thinking how I'm gonna lay off people, and it was people just coming in droves to support us. And that means a lot, you know, and that means we're doing it right, you know, and it made me feel good about society again, you know, how people were supporting us. You know, and your dad's a huge part of that, you know, it's a family.
Back in the day I started, you get your invoices, but you had to do the math, you know, you wrote in what you had to write in with an ink pen, paper and ink pen. Got the truck and go. And that was it. There's your high technology and a piece of paper invoice. This I just put their customers in and punch it in, it goes tomorrow. So yeah, I was actually punching a product. Years later, I'm on the wall. I'm on the wall of fame, baby. Had one guy park in the spot, and I go, that means Kegheads, so we don't park here no more. Got that guy trained. Put them a little cardboard note. You're not parked in the Keghead spot. Took me 40 years to get it. Don't take it away from me, son. One of these days, I'm gonna try to get a window put in this. I figure if not, I'll just give me the case of beer that says Budweiser, the brown box, and I'll just get the Weiser and put it here and tape some red tape. It'll blend in pretty nice.
I've never seen a grown man like about to cry, and he came into my office and he shut the door and he looked at me and he's like, T, I'm a fish out of water. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. And truly, he's been doing it longer than I've been born. I hate this. And I want to go back to my truck. I want to go back to my old life. I want to go back to my old role. And I'm like, listen, you're the best, man. And you can go back to that old role. You can do the things that you're gonna do. You're just not gonna do it on a truck.
That was his biggest fear was, well, with being taken off the truck, people are gonna forget about me. I'm gonna lose that.
His route was supposed to be changed, and I actually called up his company and I said, if he's no longer my rep, I'm done with you guys. You can take off all your handles, take off everything that you guys have that's mine, and I'm done with you guys. Because I wanted just to work with Keghead. That was the only person who I wanted to work with, was just him.
When James was taken off my route and basically went into the sales side of things, I was devastated because we went through like a 2-3 month window of learning curves and new people and this, and didn't know anything about my business, and we had to sit there and retrain to the point where I literally made some phone calls and told them, if you want to keep doing business at the volume we're doing with Maury, you know, I want James back. You know, he's doing sales. I want him to be my salesman.
There was about 10 other people that called and they're like, if Keghead's not here tomorrow, I'm kicking all of you out. Like, you're not gonna have Bud, you're not gonna have Bud Light, you're not gonna have nothing. I want Keghead here tomorrow. Let's be honest, we're just selling beer here. You don't really need that certain person to sell you beer, do you? You know, and you do.
Maybe that part of the service you no longer have, but it's you. People want to see him because, like I said, he became friends with these people. They aren't customers, they're friends.
I've learned a lot from my dad. What it means to work hard, what it means to be a friend, but most of all, how to be a man. A man isn't measured by his house, his truck, his job, or even surviving several beer kegs hitting their head. It's having the ability to adapt and grow.
That's the biggest change I've seen in him is over the years he's learned that. I know at one time he said that I'll never be a very good parent, and he's learned over the years that yeah, he became one of the best parents.
I think fulfilled my life the most is, you know, having my family and raising 3 boys. Watch you guys grow up. That'd be the most. That would be the most, you know. Being a Kegheads would come after that.
Being home gives me solace. Keghead's last ride allowed me to reconnect with the world I left behind, while introducing me to a new one. Knowing who we are is not only knowing where we fit into the past, but also the future. One day my dad won't be the Keghead, but I find peace knowing his legacy, like Mama Inez's recipes, will live on. The world evolves, whether we like it or not. But if we can adapt without demolishing the road that was paved before us, maybe change won't seem so intimidating.
Where the sharp axe, son? Right there. When you get your big fires, get your logs and oak. Pour a little gas on that bad dog.
So is the Keghead rub, is that what you're going to do after you retire?
I've not had one person not like it, so I'm thinking I might.
Even standing over it.
I'll get that bugger, get it in Costco, and I'll put your Kirkland name on it, and that's my last name, so it'll still work.
Gotta do you.
Where are you going? You want in the film?
I'm good.
Film at 11, baby. You can tell I don't like it.